Hi, this is the review for the test. We'll take the test next class period, okay? Remember, you can have your reference sheet out that you can put some notes on as well to help you. First thing it says, identify the plane. The plane is a flat surface that continues forwards, backwards, left and right forever. A plane would be the top of the box is a plane. The side of the box is a plane, okay? So we want the plane parallel to plane TWY. Plane TWY, we have to use at least 3 letters when we talk about a plane. Here's T, here's W, here's Y. So the plane is this right side. If we're parallel, that means we do not intersect. So the plane that would be parallel would be the left side of the box. You can use any of the letters, 3 of the letters, S, V, Z, X. I'm just going to use plain S, V, Z. Plain S, V, Z. I could also use X in there. Any of those 3, no specific order. Okay? I suggest you do how I do. When you scribble on it, you could see it better. Let me use this here, the left side, S, V, Z, X. Only 3 of those letters are required. Okay. It says all the segments parallel. Identify all segments parallel to segment VZ. So here's segment VZ. Okay, so all the ones that will be parallel are the corners that are vertical. All of these are parallel. Parallel means they never touch and they're in the same plane. When you do 2 at a time, they will be. So I could say parallel would be SX. It says all. TW, segment TW, segment UY, segment, yep, there we go. Identify all the segments skew. Okay, I'll show you what skew is. This here word means not in same plane. That's what it means, not in the same plane. So if I take this pencil and I take this pen, one is vertical, one's horizontal. They are not in the same plane. When I look at this box, I want skew to segment ZY. Segment ZY is here. Skew would be segment TW is skew. Segment SX is skew. They are not in the same plane. I could also choose that segment or this segment because they also would be, this is the front of the box, this is the top right corner, top left corner. So we could also say segment SV and segment TU. Okay, now it says identify the special name for each angle pair, and are the angles congruent, which is equal measure, or are they supplementary, which means part plus part equals, 180. So we have to do both. We have to identify the names. So the kind of angles that we could have in this section, the choices would be alternate, interior angles, same side interior. We also call those consecutive. Oh, let me rewrite that, I'm sorry. We can do, I'm going to come right over here. Alternate interior, we could do corresponding angles. And we can do alternate exterior angles. and we can do the ones we forget about, vertical angles. And we could do a linear pair like this, right? This angle plus this angle is 180, linear pair. Those are our choices, okay? So I'm going to highlight. We got angle 1 with angle 5. They make the letter F. Top left corner here, top left corner here. Those are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles, if the lines are parallel, which on here it says they are parallel, because line A is parallel to line B, we know that corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? Erase my highlights. Angles 2 and 7, 2, 7. Okay? They are exterior and they're on opposite sides. Remember, this is called a transversal. That line is a transversal. These are on opposite sides of the transversal and they're exterior. They are not between the two lines, they're outside the two lines. So these are alternate exterior angles, and they are also congruent. I'll erase my highlights again. If you guys erase and then highlight as you go, it just helps. Okay? Angles 3 and 6. Okay, they make a Z, right? Z angles. They're between the two lines. They're between the lines. And they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So these are called alternate interior, and they also make a Z. Alternate interior angles, and these are also congruent. Okay, let's erase that. Okay, angles 3 and 5. Okay, these are on the same side of the transversal, and they're also interior. So we could call them same side interior angles. And you could also call them consecutive. Either way is correct. Interior angles. And these are different. These are supplementary, which means part plus part is 180. This is supplementary, right? Part plus part is 180, okay? Supplementary. They total 180. Okay, let's do the next. Okay, angles 7 and 8. So again, I'm going to erase. I think it helps when you scribble it, highlight it, use different color or something. I like the pencil, so I could erase it. Okay, 7 and 8. Oh, this is a tricky one. Okay, 7 and 8. It's like this. This is 7 and 8. They're adjacent. That means they share one side. They share a vertex. They make a straight line, which is 180 degrees. Their exterior sides do. So they are called linear pair. I think this one's hard. A linear pair. And these are also supplementary. Remember, supplementary. Part plus part equals 180. I'll write it on this one. Same for here. Part plus part is 180. Okay, let's erase again. I'm at angle 4, angle 8. If I continue, can you guys see the F? Okay. If I look at this top intersection, it's the bottom right corner, bottom right here. If I look down here at this intersection, bottom right corner, since they're both in matching positions, it's corresponding, means matching, makes the letter F. These are corresponding angles. And they make the letter F, and they are congruent. You don't have to write the word, just put the symbol, congruent. That means their measures equal each other. Okay, and then the last one is angle 5 and 8, those two angles, okay? Race. Okay. Okay, here's angle 5. Here's angle 8. Okay, you don't even need to look at the top. You just got 5 and 8, right? Just like this. Two lines that intersect. 5 is here, 8 is here. When two lines intersect, they form this pair of vertical angles, your top and bottom, and your left and right pair of vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. Okay. Now it says find the slope of line KM, so these two points are on that line, the slope of line KM and the slope of line ST. Determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So I'm going to do line KM first. I'm going to write the points under each other so it's easier for me so I don't crisscross them. And I know this is my X's, these are my Y's. Okay, so my slope of line KM. Slope means subtract the y coordinates and then subtract the value of your x coordinates. So I'm going to point to it, right? Okay, kind of split this up. So you're going to go, oh man, you guys, hold on. I got to turn my paper off. Give me a second. Slide under my phone. Oh, you guys get all caught up there. Okay, we're doing slope of line KM. You have the point negative 410 and the point 2, negative 8. M means to subtract the values of the y coordinates and the values of your x coordinates. Slope refers to how steep a line is slanted. It's like the incline of the line. This is a higher slope. Like it's a steeper slope, right? Eventually we get to a vertical slope, which is undefined. And then our slope, the steepness, is getting less and less and less. Finally, steepness gets all the way to a horizontal. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. Okay, let's go ahead and subtract. So I'm going to take second y minus first y. Second y minus first y. Negative 8 minus, you always have to have the subtraction, that's part of the formula, 10. You're finding the difference between those numbers. So the y value is on top, x value is on bottom. 2, your formula says subtract, and we're subtracting a negative 4. Okay? Negative 8 minus 10, negative 18. This means when the negatives, if I have a subtract a negative and they're between two numbers, they have to be between the numbers, this means add. Cancel the negative, get rid of the negative, opposite of a negative, all those words will work. Okay, negative 3. You guys good with that one? I wrote a little too big. Okay, now we're going to find the slope of the line ST. So for ST, line ST, again, I'm going to write the 2 points under so I don't crisscross. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Slope equals, I'm going to subtract the y's, subtract the x's. So the first one I'm going negative 7 here, subtract 2, right? Negative 7, subtract 2. That's my y values. Then my x's are 4, subtract 1. 7, negative 7 minus 2 is negative 9. 4 minus 1 is 3. This reduces to negative 3. The slopes are the same. And when slopes are the same, the lines are parallel. Okay? Two lines that have the same slope means they don't intersect to each other. Okay, these same slope, they're parallel. And if they're going to stay parallel, they always have to have the same exact slope. If the slopes are not equal, they will intersect. If the slopes are equal, they're parallel. So I'll put this up here to help myself. Parallel means equal slope. Perpendicular is when we do opposite sign and we flip the fraction, okay, which is called a negative reciprocal. Negative means opposite sign. Reciprocal means to flip the fraction, okay? That's number 9. Number 10, same thing. Line KM, what's the slope? We're going to do the same thing. -3, -7. This one's harder, lots of negatives. And 3, -3. Subtract my y's. My y's are -3 minus -7. I'm going to space it out. -3, subtract or minus -7. And then for my x's, I'm going to have 3 subtract -3. I'm going to clean that up. 2 negatives next to each other means plus, add. You can reduce that. You're going to either use your calculator to reduce it, or you just reduce it. Okay? Oh, I forgot to write up here, parallel. These were parallel because they equal slopes. Sorry. Okay. And then let's do the slope of, so that's line KM has a slope equal to 2/3. Let's go line ST, right? We're going to find the slope of that one. I'm going to write them under each other again. 0, 4, 6, -5. So slope equals, subtract your y's, -5, subtract 4. And then subtract your x's, 6, subtract 0. Okay, I'm going to reduce this. Okay, now this one, are they equal to each other? In the first one, we got -3, -3, which meant parallel. Parallel lines have equal slopes. But this time, I've got 2/3, oh goodness, can you guys see it? And -3/2, okay? This time, the slopes are opposite signs. This one's positive, this one's negative, and this one 2 in the numerator, 3 in the denominator. This one 3 in the numerator, 2. So the values are flipped. The fraction is flipped. It's a reciprocal, and they have opposite signs. So this is negative reciprocal, which means perpendicular. Okay, opposite signs, right? And the fraction is flipped. And we call that negative reciprocal. That's what that means. Okay, let's flip it to the back side. Okay, I think this is probably the hardest question on the test right here. What angle relationship are we using, and find the x? Now, some of you guys might look straight at this one and go, well, this one here, okay, and this one, and I know they're parallel. I'm told they're parallel. And this angle here are alternate exterior angles. This is true. Don't write what I'm writing. So that means that do not write this, 9x plus 12 equals 4y minus 10. This is correct, but there's an x and a y in this equation. You can't solve with the x and a y with only one equation. You'd have to have another, which we do not have. So I'm not going to use that relationship. Forget that one. Okay, so I'm going to try something else. There's a lot of things I can do here. Okay, I'm going to take I'm going to look at just this right here. You guys see that? This is right here. I have a straight angle. Let me go this way so maybe you can see it better. Do you guys see the straight angle? Okay, that means 180 degrees, right? So this part plus this part equals 180. So I can use a linear pair. Which means part plus part equals 180. That's called supplementary. It makes a straight line. I've got this angle. This much is 84 degrees. This much is 4y minus 10. Add the part plus the part is a total of 180. So I'm going to go, let me get rid of pencil. 4y minus 10 plus 84 equals 180. These are on the same side, solve them. So combine like terms. Subtract 74. 4y equals 106. Divide by 4. Y equals, it must be a fraction. Yep. Let's see what I got. I got y equals, oh buddy, should be the same ones. I messed up somewhere. Oh, right here. I wrote 74. Yep, 74 minus 74, 106. Okay, 4 goes in there. What is that, 20, right? 2 times and 26. Let me do. Yeah, 26.5. Okay, I got y equals 26.5. Okay, so that's what this is. Now another thing to think about when you do this, another way, is also, if this is 84, I could also do, this one's 84, because these are corresponding angles. Do you guys see 84, 84? Okay. Now I can also do supplementary angles this way, a straight angle. Okay. I can do, if this is 84, 84, 180, another way to think of this, minus 84 is 96. So this angle is 96. So 9x plus 12 equals 96. It's another way to do it. Okay? I used a linear pair here. I'm going to use a linear pair again. I'm also using corresponding with this. So 84 plus 9x plus 12 equals 180. Okay, so 9x plus 96 equals 180. Subtract 96. 9x equals 84. Right? Is that right? Yeah. And then divide by 9. And I'm going to get x equals 84 divided by 9 is a 9 times 9 is 81 and 3 ninths. So 9 and 1/3. Okay? I think we're good. Okay. Now, next problem. We're almost there. Find the slope between points A and B. Here's A, here's B. So you can plot them, count your up and over, right? Count ups and overs to get your slope. That's one way to do it. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to go -1, -3. That's A. So that -1, -3. B is at +3, 5. 3, 5, B. So I could just count how much do I go up, how much do I go right. So So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going up 8. Okay. And then I'm going right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going right 4. So when I do that, I'm going 2 over 1. So that's one way you can find slope. The other way I could do it is just subtract them. -1, -3, put 3, 5 under so I don't crisscross. My slope says to subtract the y's, subtract the x's. Y's have to be in the numerator. So 5 minus -3, right? Because you have to subtract and then the number. And then 3 subtract -1. So that'll be 5 plus 3, 3 plus 1, 8 over 4, which again is 2. Notice we had 8 over 4 here. When I counted, it was also 8 over 4, which equals just 2 over 1. Okay? That's the slope of AB. If I'm going just from A to B, this is my slope. Okay? Now, if I want to be perpendicular to AB, you do the negative reciprocal. Okay? So it means opposite sign. Instead of positive 2 over 1, it would be negative, and I flip the fraction. That's a perpendicular. Now, we have to write the equation that goes through A. Let me get another color. I'm looking. Okay, I got red. Okay, so I want to go through A, so through here, and I'm going to be perpendicular. So it's got to be like this, right? Now the slope says to go down 1, right 2. So from here I would go down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Up 1, left 2. So I'm going to write the equation of this line, because that's a line perpendicular. Okay? So I'm going to write point slope form. That's what it says to use. Y minus y1 equals slope times the quantity x minus x1. Now, the things that are frozen and you cannot replace, right? You cannot replace. Y has to stay, minus has to stay. X has to stay, minus has to stay. And the rest we're going to plug and chug. We're going to replace it, the y1, x1, we're going to replace m. So we want it to go the equation of the line through A and perpendicular to AB. It's going through A. A is up here. It's -1, -3. Perpendicular to the line AB means the slope has to be negative reciprocal. It's my slope. This is the slope of the line perpendicular is -1/2. M equals -1/2. So now we replace. So y minus y1. This is my x, y. x1, y1. Point on the line. Y minus -3 equals slope x minus -1. Okay, I'm going to clean it up. These become positive, plus 3. Okay, so that's my answer. Now it says write it in slope-intercept form, which means solve for y. This is how I want it to look. That's my goal. So I'm going to use distributive property first. -1/2 times +1 means subtract 1/2. Okay? Now I want y by itself, right? So I have to get rid of the plus 3. Subtract 3. So I'm going to get y equals -1/2 x minus 1/2 minus 3 means minus 3.5. And we're done. That's good enough. Now let's see if that makes sense. This means this is my y-intercept. If I do y equals mx plus b, my y-intercept is at -3.5. 1, 2, 3. It looks like I crossed it half. It says my slope, down 1, right 2, and that's right. So this answer is good. We did good. Okay, here we go. Okay, On this picture here, it says to find angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's just start filling them in. We know that these two lines are parallel, so all the corresponding to 71 will be this one. So this angle is 71 degrees. Vertical angles here are congruent, so that's 71 degrees, which also shows me alternate interior angles are congruent. And then vertical angles here, 71 degrees. Okay? If I look at a straight angle, I can look at that. I can look at same side interiors are supplementary. Either way, you've got 71 plus x equals 180, or you're just going to subtract 180 minus 71 to get angle 1. So I'm going to put measure of angle 1 plus 71 equals 180. So really, we're just subtracting 71. So measure of angle 1 equals 109. So I'll put that in red, that those are 109, okay? So this angle is 109 degrees. Vertical angles are congruent, 109 degrees. I could say corresponding angles are congruent. And I could say alternate exterior, corresponding here, or vertical here. But this one's also 109. So we just fill them in, and that takes care of 1 through 6. So measure of angle 1 is 109 degrees. Measure of angle 2 is 71 degrees. Also notice 109 plus 71, linear pair, is 180, so we did okay. Measure of angle 3 is 109. Measure of angle 4 is 109 degrees. These are all degrees. Measure of angle 5 is 71 degrees. And measure of angle 6 is 71 degrees. Okay. Okay, now down here. Let's do this. This is like a new problem. Oh no, this one does connect. 15 and 16 I added. They're not worded real well. Measure of angle 5 is 4x plus 11. So we're going to change this. I'm telling you, measure of angle 5 is 4x plus 11. We also know it's 71 degrees. So we're just going to do that. Okay? 4x plus 11 equals 71. Okay, so we know this is 15 for x, and we already did this. Okay, we know that the measure of angle 4 is 109, so we don't need to do that one again. This question here is okay, it's not a great question. I probably shouldn't have done this. Measure of angle 2 and 4. So here's 2 and 4. I'm telling you 2, these are same side interior. So this is like a separate question, and it really doesn't involve the 71. Okay? We know that if lines are parallel, same side interior angles are supplementary. If they're supplementary, that's part plus part equals 180. Okay, they're supplementary. Okay, so I'm going to go 3x minus 12 plus 6x minus 38 equals 180. Like terms on the same side, we just combined. 3x, 6x is 9x. Okay, so those on the same side, you just do exactly what it says. Minus 12, minus 38, that's minus 50. Now we're doing opposite sides, opposite operation. And then opposite sides, opposite operations, divide by 9. So 230 divided by 9, 218, 50, 6, 5, 45, and 5. Right? So 25 and 5 ninths. Good enough. Okay. So. Okay, that's your answers. So let me know if you have questions. I'll be in my room, and you could get help. Thanks, you guys. Good luck on your test.